Hello there. It's me. I'm back. Sorry for the dearth of content lately. Been away. I'm on vacation. I've got a slight break between finishing my previous job and starting my new job. That'll be on the 6th of September. And been doing stuff. Went away with my family last weekend. And yeah, I'm back again. We're going to be looking at Camelot Kings vs Tartarus Titans Game 1 today. Probably for me the best we've seen Scary D play. We'll see how that affects the Titans going forward. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different today. So the reason I've not had any sort of SPL analysis content up recently is there's been some problems with the demo files. I don't really know what's going on, but I haven't been able to get demo files for a lot of the games I've wanted to do content on. So today is going to be a little bit scuffed. It's the same again. It was the same for last week and the week before. So I don't know what's going on the Skill Titanforge end. What are they called? Titanforge? Smite people anyway. I don't know what's going on the Smite esports team's end. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. We'll muddle through. We'll do our best to do a scuffed version of this through the YouTube video. I've got a load of tabs open, ready to go. I'm just going to do this through like OBS pause feature, I guess. I'm just going to switch over to another scene. Here you go, you can see. Let me see if I can fix this scene before I go into it, because the scene is not quite right. I told you it was going to be scuffed, though. What are you complaining about? Okay, that'll do. A little bit less scuffed. Shall I remove the havering? I don't think he needs to be there. He can go. Okay, look at this. Look how ready I am. I'm prepared. I wanted to have a look at the picks and bans first, see if there was anything interesting going on. I wish I could get rid of this stuff, but whatever, it is what it is. Let's have a look at what the Titans did here. They banned away the Terra. Umoja was actually banned away by the Kings on first pick side, which is very interesting. And then they grabbed the Odin. So I think they expected and they wanted to force genetics towards this Fafnir. We've seen a lot of focus onto genetics and P's and B's recently. Move myself out of the way so you can see the Cyclone Spin did indeed pick the Freya. Very interesting. Freya, Kronos, they got triple physical frontline first, so you know they're going to go double magical backline probably. Kings don't seem to care. They don't seem to mind. Maybe they think that Paul could go single magical with the kind of team that the Titans are. It's not what ends up happening. They go Kronos mid, Freya ADC. On the other side, Variety on a signature Sobek, not having the game you'd expect him to have. This is Gilga jungle, by the way. Odin support, Bellona solo. You know how I feel about Bellona. I think the god is terrible. But, you know, wasn't too bad in this game. Bellona, Benji showing that he can make things happen with Bellona. The increased stun duration on the ult, definitely not insignificant. So picks and bans wise, yeah, not a whole lot to talk about, honestly. It's not. I don't think this game was won or lost in picks and bans, really. I think it was won or lost on the server. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to pause the OBS recording and go to the next one, but I haven't. So yeah, we're just getting on with things. Let's go. How's this camera positioning? This is so scuffed, man. I apologize. I'm gonna be over the Taurus Titans cams this time. I'm sorry, but I'm more on point than them. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's look at the start of the game. So this is, let's quickly go over the builds before we do. So it's important to note that no starters picked up other than Benevolence on the right-hand side. They do end up going 5 Benevolences. On the solo side of the map for the Kings, they have a Vamp Shroud and they have a Mannequin Scepter, which means they want to abuse that side of the map through the early game because they're going to be stronger, naturally. Variety's got Fizzprot into double physical. Twig's just going to have more damage because he's got mannequins and he's an Osiris, which is a pretty strong early game. So let's check out how they try and abuse that advantage.
Balance out the Kronos in mid.
Probably turn the volume down slightly. You can hear Gore though. Gore sounds lovely. Really impressed with all the casters this year. I don't know how rambly this is going to be. By the way, Twig did back there, got his tier 2 stone cutting. Look how early he's back, 2 minutes 2. So you can see blue buff not spawning yet. You can tell that is his idea. That's why he's back so early. Scary actually seems to have an idea of it by the time he's back in, because it looks like he hasn't finished off this second back camp, right? He's realized he needs to get back and needs to get back out to the blue buff, which is sort of game sense jungle wise that we haven't seen out of Scary too much this year, I don't think. Right? Really impressive game sense here, I think, at least by the Titans in general. He might have been told he needs to back and be there because they're going to invade it, but we shall see. Back to base he goes. And Twig, you can see, is on the way over to the blue. Benji has the fighter's mask, gonna be strong in this 2v2 regardless. I mean, as much as I lament Bellona existing and being picked in my ranked games, she's pretty strong at level 4, like pre-5. She's got a pretty strong fight down below half here as the blue buff invade is looked at. Twig, full passive. So making sure he's tanky for this one, has the mannequins. Let's look at how Scary plays this. Jukes out the 1, first of all. Nicely done by him. Turns a bit of damage. Here comes Benji. Here is a nice 2. Does a lot of damage to Twig. Benji, really good spacing. And there comes Scary putting damage out. Good kick. Stuns out Variety. Stuns out Twig. Picks up the kill. Really important play by Scary. Gets him first blood. Gets his team through this rough early game on the solo side of the map. Neuters the place where the Kings want to pressure with their starter rhymes. Maybe just a misplayed invid there. I'm not sure what Twig and Variety could have done different. Maybe their spacing was wrong. Did look a bit like Twig was too far forward there, going in alone, and Scary then secures this blue buff. Okay, let's move on to the next clip. Let's try this pause thing.
What Captain Twig does,
I'm back, and it's a brand new clip. We're on the solo. Oh, laggy. We're on the solo side of the map again. Benji. My volume's too loud again. And Benji gets the turnaround in the 1v2. Really important there that he doesn't go down for nothing. Not sure why I included this clip, to be honest. It's just Benji doing God's work on this Bellona. Did hit level 5 before Variety, probably because of what happened on the solo side of the map. And I guess, yeah, it's important to note this again is the solo side pressure. That's what the Kings want to do with what they've picked, what they've built more than anything else, you know? What they've built means that they want to lean over towards the solo side of the map and get Variety a lead in, and it's not working. It was an okay gank in the end. I think a bit of a wave was missed by Benji, I suppose, because of it, but he still has a lead. And Scary D's doing fine in the jungle with that first blood he's picked up. Paul finishing off the Warlocks before he goes into Benevolence. 4 Benevolences online, so the gold is gonna start scaling for the Titans in the near future. Okay, next clip. Hello, it's me. I'm back. I've unpaused. This is going to be so disjointed and bad. But anyway, fight over towards the solo side of the map. This, I want to note, this is really bad by the Titans. Freya, very diveable god, very unsafe in situations like this. There's 2 of your teammates are in mid. The mid and jungle are both here. And it's 4v2. Why are you stepping up? What are you stepping up to contest? The Gorp? In a 2v4? What are you doing? This is pretty... I'm going to step back a bit. Aurora originally was just kind of stepping up alone. Freya's over here. She needs to just path out. There's got to be better communication here between the Titans. This is a really disappointing play for me by them. Shows, you know, again, the mistakes within their core, just not being on the same page. Nice done by Genetics. They dive in. Netroid's there as well. Uses his ult. Didn't even need to be honest, and they pick up the kill. Pretty cleanly done by the Kings, but really poor by the Titans, in my opinion. Pretty gosh darn poor. Okay, nice clip. Here we are, focused over on the left-hand side of the map here. Scary goes over to defend his blue buff, and so a Gold Fury is called. Nice call here by the Kings. Timing, they've conditioned them to want to defend that blue. So they look for this Gold Fury. But in goes Aurora. Thank you very much, he says. I'll be taking that. Decent cage as well. Maybe could have survived. Big Man Tings maybe could have ulted there to try and fear Aurora away or something like that. Nice steal, but they don't really have a great damage ability to outsecure that bird bomb, so maybe a bad call to just do it right in front of this Odin with his sledge online, so he's got a little bit of extra damage. Nice steal by Aurora. Good job by him. Nice call by the Kings, you have to say. Just a little bit off on the execution, I think. Sometimes you gotta just RNG it, but I feel like they could have done better, maybe. I don't know if Genetics could have had some kind of stun in there as well, by the way. Which way? Oh, we get an Aurora replay. Let's have a look. He just kind of stands there. He's like, hey, look, Gold Fury, you're doing it? All right, I'll have that. Perfect timing by him. Did he get the Raiju on him? He did. So it looks like he landed just after the Raiju popped. So very perfect timing on that by Aurora. Great steal. And yeah, next clip. Let's see what's going on in this one. Looks like a grouping over to the right-hand side of the map by the Kings. They're looking for Benji. Benji, 1v3 here. I think Genetics just deformed from his ult. So he's going to ult away. And look at the left-hand side. Look at the reaction by Scary D. This is important. This is good jungler play. Carry D had a really good game here on this Gilgamesh just seemed to be instinctually a lot better than we've seen him this whole season. He goes on the red. He's going to steal away this red. Nice job, Paul. Chilling out. Here comes the rotation. I think Netrioid ulted in. He did. Scary. Wastes a lot of time. Another great drop kick. We saw some great ones earlier on in this game, and we'll see more to come. And it means he gets the red. He trades out 1 for 1, despite the fact that Netrioid, Big Man, and Twig have all used their ults. He got the red. So a good play by Scary D. I wonder why he's bought this light blade. I wonder what he's going to upgrade that into. Crazy that he's bought this light blade with his gold that he earned from killing minions, that he earned with his money. And he's bought this light blade, and he's just holding on to it. Just a little bit of extra attack speed, I guess. Great play by him. Really smart. But yeah. I think that's the end of this clip. Just a nice play by Scary D. Better jungle instincts, I think. So, next clip. Maybe? Paul's gonna survive here, surely. Who's gonna die? Is everybody gonna live? No next clip. Benji from behind. Yeah, I think everybody just lives here. Does Variety miss a pluck here? He misses a lot of plucks. Oh, he hits a pluck. He missed a lot of plucks this game. I don't know if I'll be showing a whole lot of them, but he did miss a lot. Maybe the Kings could have won if it was just... spoilers, by the way. Maybe the Kings could have won if Variety just hit a few more plucks. But yeah, let's move on. Primal Fury time. This time, it's the Titans looking to pull a Primal Fury. Last time we saw the Kings pulling the gold. Genetic's the only one here to contest. Can he get the steal like Aurora does? No, he cannot. But let's look at this disengage. Let's pause for a second here. Twig and Big Man coming around the back. Netroid, Variety, Genetics coming here. One thing I want you to note is I didn't think Aurora looked fully natural in this Odin here. I think a better Odin player here plays this differently, and we'll go through it. I think this cage that he puts down is really, really poor. Just really not good enough here. Let's see where he places it. Look at this cage. It doesn't block anything. What he needed to do was jump out like you're about to see him do and cage this area and block off the enemy's path. They would then need to destroy 2 walls. It was going to stop them CCing his teammates. It was going to stop the chase down. This quality is horrendous, by the way. Unfortunately. So Netroid dives over to this side. Look, if he has his cage here and he drops it here, there is no way they're getting run down. Netroid's already ult in. He can't get through the cage free. Genetics is going to kill it pretty quick. But it's going to give his team the time they need to get out of here. Maybe they lose Benji at worst. I don't even think they would. I think he'd probably survive. Still has the ult available. So he uses his ult over this wall. Cage is here rather than here. The cage here did nothing. Maybe it blocked the Sobek for a second. The Sobek's coming around the right-hand side. That's the only thing it did. The Sobek would have been equally blocked off by a cage here. I think that is a big misplay in this fight. This could have been a clean gold and a getaway if there was a better Odin player here. I think Aurora... I think he looked pretty good in this game, other than this moment, to be honest. So I'm harping on at him. But that's because I know how good Aurora can be. And I feel like he's having a pretty poor season. I want to see him back to his best. So, you know. Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, if the cage is here, they get out safely. There you go. They chase in. Full chase. Great Lord of the Afterlife by Twig. I think it hit 4, which is absolutely obscene. And here comes the chase. Raiju's onto Aurora. He gets slowed out. Cyclone will die. Good rewind, actually, by Paul to make sure he doesn't fall as well. Scary and Paul, the only 2 left. And they're going to lose XP and gold off of that. This Gold Fury ends up being not at all worth it. They're going to lose their mid-tier 1 as well, I assume, which is the most important tower on the map. I can't harp on about it enough. And what else are they going to lose? Oh, no, they're not going to lose the mid-tier 1. They're going to lose the Fire Giant, aren't they? Big Man looks... He wants to get it. He wants to pressure Paul. Maybe he's trying to discourage Paul rotating over to Fire. Maybe he's trying to make it so that it doesn't look like they're doing it. Scary knows. Scary actually goes on to Big Man there. I'm not sure if he lost his beads or anything. Variety sent to zone while they do this. FG. Scary coming around the back. Looking for the steal. And it's a nice try by Scary, I think. I think he's doing everything right again. Kick was not quite on. Looks for the jump steal. Gives it a go. Doesn't get it this time. Camelot Kings will secure an objective. Genetics the only one without the Fire Giant. So, yeah. Nice fight by the Kings. Pretty poor. That all came off of the back of 1 misplaced Odin cage, by the way. How crazy is that? Huge ult by Twig as well. Important to note, Twig, I think Osiris being his best god this phase by a long way. I love to see him play it, apart from when it's Worlds and I'm on his team. Anyway, next clip. We are on to the FG Siege. Let's quickly do an inventory before we go here. Genetics ults early. Cage is down. Cage was used on this tier 2 somewhat randomly. Another bad cage by Aurora, but We'll see what they can do without it. It seems to encourage the Kings. They want to go. Maybe they know that Cyclone isn't in position. He's backing in mid. So they want to go on this left Phoenix. Looks like Genetics just pre-ulting, probably going to drop the Frenzy as well. There is a Phantom in play this game as well, by the way. It's worth noting. Here we go. Drops the 2 onto only Big Man and Twig, which is not ideal. They probably should have grouped better for that. But, you know, micro criticism is not the best. Let's see how they play this. Damage from Netroid isn't crazy onto this Phoenix. Aurora there to block, and the damage goes onto Variety from Benji and Paul pretty nicely. They do a lot of damage. Cyclone's in and healthy, ready to go. Good banish there, and a good ult follow-up from Benji. You can see the damage onto Genetics is no joke. Wind of Smash really well placed here by Scary D. But he's just going to leap out of there. So ult damage onto Big Man as well. They're low, but they have the sustain here. They don't have the sustain that the Kings have had in other games. That's another thing I'd like to do some analysis on. Their Mail of Renewals and meds. But the Phoenix has defended successfully so far. FG sustain going to come through. Looks like King's happy to just trade ults, heal back up, and go and take tier 2s. See how that does here. Damage comes out from Big Man. Look at that poke from the Raiju. What the heck, man? Some of that Oboe as well? I think some of that might have been Oboe as well, but my goodness. Raijin, man. My god, is OP. Right, you gonna miss a pluck? Oh, he hit it! You got a roar, which is not ideal. And he somehow lives. Scary looks for the kill as well. Good jump in from him, but can't quite get it. Variety just barely survives. And up-down from Netroid here is interesting. So they apply the slow, and then they just look to send Twig into kind of zone while they get this Phoenix. Let's see how it works out. Cage from Aurora is not great. That's a really bad cage, in fact. Osiris is going to end up ulting out of there. Mid-Phoenix down to about 30. But Netroid still getting poked down, but Mid-Phoenix will survive. So a decent hold there by the Titans. A weird way of engaging that. Oh, Scary D! Let's get an action replay on that one. Look at this! Look at this! How do we do this? Playback speed. 0.25. Let's have a look. Look at it. The flick of the wrist. Triple stun! Cutlass into gore. Oh god. Okay. This is so scuffed, man. Alright, back to normal playback speed.
What a great drop kick!
What a great drop kick, I agree. And meanwhile, on the side, Benji sticking to Twig. Twig, no way of getting away at this point. He does have beads, but there is a Frostbound Hammer being applied to him continually by Benji. No escape. And we're not talking about Ares ult. Somehow Variety just never dies, no matter what he does, just no deaths. But after that kick, Scary rotates over and helps pick up that kill onto Twig. Really nice play by him. Playing that well. Paul, a good rewind again. Important to note, he is deathless this game, 0-0-1 so far. Going for the Rod in that third slot, which I guess is a result of going Benevolence and not wanting to go Coin, I guess, and needing MP5? I don't know. It's interesting. Gold Fury. Will this be secured? Let's have a look. No. Looks like a disengage is going to come through. I think this might be the end of this clip. I think we might be... are we done here? Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Benji's soloing Pyromancer, and they're posturing around this goal. Now, Variety and Co know that he was there. Another missed pluck. Good jump by Scary D. I won't count that as a miss. That was a dodge. Cyclone has walked up, and... oh, that is pretty bad by Cyclone, I think. No beads. What did he... excuse me? I want to see this beads. What did he beads? Oh, he still had... he beads in mid there. Okay. Okay, Cyclone. Mechanical monster. There he is, glowing. Wait. I'm confused. Yeah. Yeah, glowing. Mid-air. I don't know. That's pretty bad by him. Ping Diff Copium, maybe. Don't know. Gold Fury will be secured by the Kings. 21 minutes into the game. What's the gold lead? About 3k. So despite Kings, I don't know, they should be up a bit more than that. Look at all the tier 2s that are down on this side. 2 tier 2s, 2 tier 1s. The difference... oh no, and 2 tier 2s. 3? I don't know. I can't do maths. I don't know. Anyway. They got a lot of towers that the Titans don't have. Never do maths on stream or on recording. So they should be up more in gold, but Penta Benevolence probably making the difference here. Plus, a huge totem of coup diff, of course. Massive totem of coup diff. Drogo diff in the other direction, though. Anyway, let's move on to the next clip. Welcome to the Fire Giant. We're going to be spending some time here. Drink a bit of my cold brew.
Also somewhat low, so both solo laners have taken a little bit of damage here in this fight. So it'll be an FG
nice and cold. Here goes Genetics. Okay. Oh, there's something I wanted to note here. Let's note this. Okay, this ward is really good. Gives a lot of info for the Kings. They know Aurora walks back this way. There's no reason for him to not join up for this team. If he's not standing here and looking at you, you know he probably backed. I think they also probably saw Benji. I think it's Benji who backs or somebody else who backs. Two people back here. Scary backs. Benji backs and Scary cancels his back actually. But two of your frontliners back. Both your frontlines backed. Seems like Genetics knows or has an idea that they might want to back. He pulls the trigger on this FG, a very Genetics call and a very good one. Let's see how it works out. They're going to melt this as well, by the way, with the Frenzy. The Netrioid's damage is no joke. Raiden's damage is no joke. Twig's damage is not bad as well. With the mannequins and the XC, Stonekine, it's doing good stuff for his team. So their objective damage is really good. And they get a free fire. What do they do with this fire? I don't know. Let's, do I need to skip past this? There's probably not much left in this clip, right? Let's go on to the next clip. Okay, second FG of the game for the Camelot Kings, going for the left Phoenix for the second time this game. They failed to get it last time. Let's see what they do. Better cage by Aurora. Will trap in Netroid. He hides in the wall for a bit. Just barely survives after using both relics. Phantom was not on him there. So he was stuck in. Aurora doesn't manage to hit anything and dies on the front side. They will get Twig. His backline will kill him. Another mispluck by Variety. There it is. Good stun. Jump in by Benji, by the way. Important to note, rather than jump out, but a double stun by Genetics is beautiful. Really interesting fight, that one. I think Aurora got a little bit greedy, chasing kills. Probably should have just stayed with his team. I think they kill Twig regardless of if he dives that hard there. He went too deep onto Big Man, it was, and ended up falling down. And then Benji tries to make something happen as well. And a great double stun by Genetics is there. Cyclone trying to defend this Phoenix alongside Paul and Scary. Let's see what they can do here. Genetics will fall off, but he has the Pridwin shield now. Wave coming. He's going to step in to tank this to make sure the wave doesn't, I guess, go down too quick. And the tower doesn't reset to one of his teammates when the wave does go down. But Cyclone just blows up Netroid. But before that happens, Netroid will get the Phoenix. Scary diving onto BMT. There's the Windsor Smash. Will get the kill. So Phoenix, but you pay the iron price for it. 3 of your team will go down. Variety and Genetics still alive. Can't quite remember if they get out of here. I imagine they do. And let's see what they do. 45 seconds on Big Man, 35 seconds on Netroid. So this may be a mid-Phoenix push. Cage onto Variety. Has the lurking in the waters. Got a Scary first person here. Nice kick as well. Nice play. I told you he played well this game, right? I think he played really well this game. He had a good one. I'm proud of him.
That's a stagger kill. This is a great spot for the Titans to turn things around.
Yeah, this game now.
Yeah, good point by Gore. Staggered are the Kings. Mid-Phoenix is the target. Mid-Phoenix? Mid-tier 1 is the target, rather. You just expect it to be a Phoenix, but meanwhile Cyclone is all over on this Gold Fury. Picking it up. I assume they get this. And then I think they try and run away, and they maybe get chased here. Is this important? I don't remember. I don't remember if this is important. Should really have notes. Normally when I'm doing this kind of thing in client, I have notes about like in-game times to look at. This time I just took a load of clips, so I was like, I probably don't need the notes. Turns out I do. Who knew? Anyway, next clip. We're back over to the Fire Giant. I just realized this video is already 25 minutes long. I hope it's not too rambly. Hope it's interesting. Anyway, FG fight. Here we go. Pool comes through. Important to note, left Phoenix down. So the plan here from the Kings, I mean, if you watch my stream, you see me harp on about it all the time. and complain about teams who don't do it well, is you have a fire wave pushing on the opposite side of the map from the fire giant. You should never be taking a 5v5. So the King's just trying to ascertain who's around, trying to see if someone's back. Probably just going to try and bait this fight back and forth. Let's see how they do it. Variety zoning pretty high up, getting very, very low, will die. So there you go. Mistake number one. They played too far forward. This Phoenix is not respawning yet. These fire minions are not threatening anything. You took a 5v5, a 6v5 if you include the fire giant on the enemy team, because he's doing damage to you. I actually think... Is this also the fight where Netroid gets knocked up by fire? Let me look. No, that's the next one. Spoilers. Anyway. Nice fight by the Kings. They isolate Variety. They finally have the damage. Cyclone online. Rings helping out the damage from Paul as well. The demonic grip on only one of them. Animosity having its damage increased for everybody by this demonic grip as well. Is not true damage. Animosity is affected by Mage Prots. Anyway, let's continue to watch this dive. This is a really good play by Netroid. Goes up in the air, avoids the bird bomb, sees the FG's low HP, dives in there, and I think he stole it away. I would assume so anyway. Him over Genex. We'll probably see at the top left. He gets it. Will fall in return. Let's have a look at the top left here. Coerce!
I mean, that is, look, as
Coerce stole it.
the rest of that
How's that work, man? I guess Coerce was either on Genetics or on Netroid. One of them stole it with the Coerce anyway. And look, the left Phoenix. It's okay. Aurora walks past the fire wave, by the way, to get to the Phoenix, make sure it doesn't fall down, and just barely keeps it up. You can see the top left there of the map. Just barely keeps that Phoenix up. Mid Phoenix dive comes through. Benji, Frostbound Hammer still doing really good work. And now the mid Phoenix surely is the prize for the Titans. Nicely done by them. A good fight. Poorly managed again by the Kings, I do have to say. They were zoning too deep. They didn't wait to see somebody on the map and left. They didn't wait until the fire minions were actually threatening to do something. I think they pulled the trigger too early on that FG pull. And they got punished for it. I think Variety probably must have made a mistake on the front line as well. Mannequin's Hidden Blade, by the way, for Twig. I actually didn't know that he picked this up until this very moment. Mannequin's Hidden Blade. So he's going to be poking hard with that passive. Some amount of damage on some cooldown. I don't remember. Twig actually going in on the left. Cyclone Spin very much caught out. Surely he falls. Turning around, interestingly enough. See where this goes. Another miss plug. That was a good sidestep by Aurora, to be fair. We'll call that a dodge, not a miss. Kick from Scary D to zone for his team. Bad jump out. But he's going to be fine. But this left Phoenix is not. A nice play by the Kings. Very opportunistic there. They see... I think it was Cyclone got caught out there. Freya not very good when she's being dived. Has been punished a few times this game. I don't really like this Freya Chronos thing they've got going on. They kind of make up for with the AoE of Odin and Gilgamesh. I mean, the big circles there are really good for them, but they don't have a whole lot of space control. And they're pretty bad if they're being dived. But they get the Phoenix there. They're up against FG. No, I mean, they lost their FG, rather. They still have FG on 2. But yeah, Oni Fury coming up. I think nothing happens here. I'm gonna move on to the next clip. Pretty sure nothing happens for a bit. See you in the next one.
I'm just saying how helpful they.
It looks like I was right. Nothing happened. Engage. Left-hand side. Great cage by Aurora. This is probably the best fight Aurora had this game, I think. Really nice play by him getting onto Big Man things here. Makes a lot of space. Big Man has to use both relics afterwards. Netroid did get one, though. It was Benji who fell. See what happens here. Aurora getting double stand out. Very tanky, though. We'll be able to leap away. Twig is stuck deep in the enemy side of the map. And is this going to be an Oni Fury? I have a weird feeling they don't get the Oni Fury here. Twig backed. Still got two frontliners here, though. Variety and Genetics. But I think they're scared of the flank here. I think they're scared of Twig. Aurora doesn't want to tank this up. Looks like neither do Cyclone or Paul, so they're just going to walk away. They're just going to walk away. Mid-wave being cleared out by Netroid, so now they know that they probably could have done it, but it's too late.
Well, we were talking about benevolence. Now it's time to
less opportunistic, this Titans team here. Less willing to hard commit on something than the Kings are. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I go to the next clip here. Nope, something's happening. I'm pretty sure nothing's happening. Yeah, he's good.
To the cause of the Tartarus Titans.
Very tanky is that Croc. Anyway, see you in the next clip. Kings grab the Pyromancer. Left waves being cleared out. Okay, this time they know it's a 5v4. They see Cyclone on the map. It is an enhanced fire now, so it's a little bit harder to do than the one earlier. But yeah, let's see what they do. Triple zone. Variety looking for an engage, looking for a pluck onto somebody, but it's only Aurora and Benji in range. Big man. Wait, was this the one where he got knocked up by FG? Look! Don't do this. That is really bad. Let's see how much damage he took off that. Decent amount, and also lowered his DPS on fire. Really bad by Netro to get knocked up by that. Really bad. Pro players, lol. Anyway, Aurora walking in. They will manage to make them get off it, and this gives Paul time. Paul has cleared out the waves. Still, that looks like it's one more fire wave that Paul might have to deal with, so he might go back. Look, the FG's reset. No reason for him to rush over. He can do a little half rotation. See what he does. Is he changing his mind? Is he still walking over? He's still coming.
You get the decision. You, as highlighted, Pyromancer is there, so
wave being pinged out. Blue ping's there, so that means that's the Kings saying, look, we have one more fire wave. We don't need to rush this. Paul already backing. Is he on a ward? Looks like he's not. Looks like he might have backed on his own team's sentry, which is what you want to do in this kind of situation. Important not to see your back, not to get your back seen. Paul just going back and forth, making sure that they're not doing it. And it was a back there. There was a back by Twig and Netroid, so you can't punish this. I don't think. They're going to pull it down, though. They do get here. Twig. Not hitting the fire. Would have good damage onto it with this Hidden Blade and the Executioner, so it's kind of a shame for his team. He's not. He's looking to be more impactful in the fight than on the objective DPS. FG down to half, and again, just nothing happens. The team, they're normally so decisive in the Kings. Have now wasted this left Phoenix they got. It's done. Pings coming out. They're yellow pings. I don't know whose pings they are. They're right-click pings. But they're meaningless. Doesn't mean anything. You can't do anything now. Your fire waves are done. And now the Titans basically even in this game. They're down 1,000 gold. But they're basically even in this game. And they're in a good spot to win from here. Now that their left Phoenix is back up. They're back even. They were behind while that Phoenix was down. If you think about like a percentage chance to win type thing. I'm not sure if I did the next clip of this, but I know that things happen soon. But do we just have to wait all the way through? I'm going to go to the next clip. Let's see. Yeah, it's literally 5 seconds forward from where we were. Nice job, Paul. Nice job. Me, Paul, not Paul, the mid laner on Chronos Paul. Anyway, Aurora diving in with Scary D. They get some decent damage onto Big Man Ting. Sunder him, chase him out, cage him. He has the Thunder Crash. Netroid ults in. And that cage was okay there by Aurora. Made a lot of space. You notice how many pathways it blocked off, how much space it cleared. And let's look at the backs here. What are you doing, Twig? What are you doing, big man? 60% HP, maybe both of them. Full HP for the full side of the Titans. The only one struggling is Aurora, and that's on mana. No ult for Scary D, no ult for Aurora, no ult for Netroid, no ult for Twig. Double backs. They just back, and FG is pulled. Decisive by the Titans. They make the call, and look at the DPS they have. They secure it. I'm not sure what they secured it with. We'll see at the top left in a second. Had a great fight. Now it's a 5v3. Forced to contest. Animosity gets it. 83 damage. Carry D does it again. And yeah, that's the game. 2 people die.
20 minutes ago, this was a Kings game through and
oh, what the hell? I just realized my screen regions probably pretty messed up. That's because I'm not full screen. Oops. I apologize. I don't know how long I've not been full screen for. Anyway, things are happening. Split push on the side of the Kings. They decide not to contest the base. They know they can't win the fight. They just try and basically their call here is to try and make the Titans make a mistake, over back, too many people back, or not go for the end, or whatever else. Titans too smart. They get the win. Nicely done by them. Well played. A good game. Carry D. That's what I would like to say. This was a lot on this Gilgamesh. Paul had a good game as well, 3-0-6. Don't feel like he did too much flashy, but had a good game. Benji as well, not too much flashy stuff, but a good game. But Scary D was definitely my player of the game here. Had a really, really strong game. Let's go to the match stats. I'll mute this and we can just have a look at them. Yeah, I mean, not a lot to say about this build. You got 5 animosities. 5 animosities on the side of the Titans. gold per 5 diff. Let's have a look at this. Who was doing the lion's share of the work? I don't know. 50k mitigated for Benji, 76k mitigated for Variety. That was one tanky croc. A lot mitigated for Twig in the jungle as well. Osiris passive OP, plus that kind of in-between build he was doing. Big Man actually doing a lot more damage than Paul this game. Netroid and Cyclone not too far away from each other. But it just came down to some mistakes from the Kings, as well as some good play from the Titans. I think Kings probably could have walked away with this win if they played a little bit cleaner around those sieges. Variety had hit a few more plucks. If they played a bit better around Fire Giant as well, if their Fire Giant pulls had been better, I think they would have won this game. Anyway, I apologize. This is scuffed as hell. It's a 35-minute video as well, so I'm sure a lot of you aren't going to make it this far. If you did, thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's cool of you to be interested enough in my inane ramblings to watch 35 minutes of this. Content-wise, I'm trying to get some more content out this week. My girlfriend's here this weekend, so... Well, I mean, actually for 11 days. So, I don't know. I'll be less active. I will be streaming this weekend, though. I'll hopefully see you all for at least some of the SPL games, maybe 3 out of the 4 days. We shall see. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully, Scary D can continue to improve in the jungle role. We shall see. Hopefully the Titans can come together. I know they ended up losing this set 2-1, but I thought this was a good back and forth game to look at. A lot of mistakes on both sides. Some nice plays, some interesting map play. So I thought it would be a good one to have a look at. I hope you feel like it was a good one too. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to break down in the near future down below. Sorry about this being scuffed. It's just I don't have the demo file, so I cannot do it in game. I'm trying. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm needling the people responsible. I'm being annoying, being very annoying. So apologies to the people I'm being annoying to if you're watching this video. But I got to do it. Otherwise, I make scuffed videos like this. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I shall see you next time. Bye.